Alright folks, we're finally ready to head into the finals. The TVT taking a little while, but that is the stereotypical TVT. Always slowing everybody down. And it is finals time between Riley as Terran and Iken has Nuke as Zerg. I did cast Iken has Nuke in the semis versus Protoss, who he did not have too many problems with. He does have some good strategies against Toss. Definitely some nice early macro, gets him ahead, and then he's able to just keep the Protoss from really doing any damage. So, yeah, both the players who make the finals, I think, qualify for the weekly final. But Riley and Iken has Nuke not exactly on the same page. Iken has Nuke says, me and you right now playing the finals, and Riley's like, I have work, so that is a shame. I don't think that's what he means. I think he means that is the weekly final, because he's accepting the invite and clearly intending to play this game out. TVZ, interestingly enough, Idra's favorite matchup. I don't know how much credit you guys like to allot to Idra, but he definitely is pro and knows the game a lot better than probably anyone in any bronze, silver, and gold tournaments. So if he says it's the best matchup, I can't really argue too much. I do love watching TVZ. A lot of dynamics to a lot of different builds and compositions that can be done. So indeed, we're just going to I guess do a little chat here as we get into the game. First map going to be MLG Tel'Darim. The Avenging. Avenging what I typed there, maybe a mistype because I recently saw The Avengers and it was awesome. I'm totally excited about it. Best movie that I've gone and seen in theaters for quite a while. I don't actually go see a lot of movies though. And Iken has Nuke saying no Marines allowed. That might be a great thing that if Zerg could deny one unit in TVZ, they could take away Mariners, because Mariners they actually kill everything quite well at most points in the game. So Riley probably going to be making some Marines. I don't think he's going to be heeding that advice because it can be pretty hard unless you go straight mech to avoid making those Marines. They are so easy well, I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily easy to use, but they have a lot of uses. Great for drops and great anti-air. So it's going to be Riley in the top left and in the top right. Iken has Nuke. So whenever you spawn not in the cross positions, one player does have a slight disadvantage with their third or fourth. I basically mean this base for either player. This one here a lot more vulnerable to the enemy as it does open towards the enemy, whereas Iken has Nukes will be pretty secluded down here. So be interesting though. I've seen some Terrans take this as their third and then just fly a base right on over and evacuate when they do. But however you do it here, you're going to lose a lot of SCVs if this does get attacked, and typically this is the better third to be taking. But some Zerg counterattacks, Ling counterattacks, or Muta Harass can be just brutal on this map. We'll see what Iken has Nuke chooses to do. I've seen him play versus Terran once before, and he did go pretty straight Ling Infestor versus a Biowing Terran, so that was a great unit composition, and he used it very well. Going to see the first SCV heading on out. The wall going to be going down. And the natural going down really quickly for Iken has Nuke before the spawning pool. Going hatch first. That's probably something he can get away with on a larger map like Tel'Darim, when you typically see those macro games, except in PvP. Important to note, in PvP, I hate Tel'Darim because it is 4-gate country, based on the fact that you can't wall, and there's going to be no use for sentries, except maybe back in here for some force fields. But this is a TVZ, so enough Protoss talk. Overlord gonna go in and scout, as he's probably, well, he scouted the other way. I guess he never actually sent a drone out, so he's just gonna scout with Overlords. And this Marine could get a free Overlord kill right here. No, the vision of this tiny little patch of high ground is actually ridiculously imba. Oh my. Okay, so lifting up barracks to get vision, temporarily. And then the Overlord gonna have to evacuate. In fact, this Overlord could go down if this Marine gets microed on over to here. Oh man, this Marine is just gonna get out of range. Run around, Mariner. Here he goes. Good job by Riley. No, never mind. Content to sit back and lead that Overlord to continue to scout all of the things. We're going to be seeing drones popping out at the natural, and 8 Zerglings on the way. So, could be some early aggression here, as there really isn't anything coming. We did see 2 Barracks Factory from Riley, and not opening Reactor Hellion, as is so standard, and not opening 111, as is also a go-to strategy. Doing a, I guess, an also fairly standard, but not aggressive opening of a 2 Barracks Factory. Probably going to be getting out a few units and then working on securing his natural. See some Lings sniping a scouting SCV. Overlord just scattered around the map. This one actually could be found. Not going to see anything especially yet, but there is the starport on the way. Reactor on the barracks, and also we see another barracks on the way, so a 3 barracks factory starport. I expect to see tanks. Indeed, a tank did start to come, and then it was cancelled as it is supply block, so Siege will be coming on down instead. So it'll be interesting to see whether he goes for Medivacs first or puts a slaps on a tech lab and goes for Banshees. That would be totally rocking, as Banshees deal so much damage and are a great way to harass a Zerg. We see a Baneling nest, so a big Baneling bus could be coming with these Lings, and a Baneling bus could be really good because with this lack of tanks, which now one is on the way, and Siege is going to be done by the time that gets out. Well, is it actually? Yes, it is. There we go. Nice demonstration of how little I know of the Terran timings. I am literally reading what they are. So, good time. Good times had. We see Medivacs coming out for these Mariners, which is going to be great, actually, against Banelings, I think. There's actually a substantial amount of Banelings being morphed, so he's going to have to bust through one of these depots right away. This tank's going to be out here in Siege, though, and get off probably about 2 shots of damage before anything can get through that wall. See Lings streaming across the map. Metabolic boost almost done, which will make these Lings such a more effective force. And in fact, loading up all the Marines and heading over for a drop. This is going to leave his base pretty much naked right here. This Baneling bus could be devastating right now. In fact, I think it will be. Here they go. These Banelings going to be lit up by the tank right here, but they're going to kill this depot no problem, and then come swarm in, surround everything. And SCV is instantly being pulled. Actually, a pretty good job there. The mule there just absorbs some damage. A big Baneling hit goes off, and this is just looking like it is probably going to be GG. The medevac going to go on ahead and drop into the main, but indeed, Riley losing 100% of his base. Medevac drop, transitioning into losing his base, just actually not going to win him the game. A nice Baneling buff executed by Icon has Nuke, and we're headed to game 2.